Hey everybody, this is Gary Kay, and obviously you're watching a video version of my pre-InfoComm video cast, or podcast, I should say, leading up to InfoComm. And we're going to do a demo today. And you know I love video demos because not only are they real time, but they're real world. So I want to introduce first Keith Pelkey. Keith Pelkey is a project engineer with Blackbox. Keith, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate you being here, and you're going to kind of take us through a demo along with Jonathan McCune. Jonathan McCune's the Director of Product Management at Blackbox. Jonathan, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. Appreciate you having us.
Yeah, you know, I've known Blackbox for, 30 years as that company that makes those little black boxes that connect things together.
Literally.
Kind of a glue company. And one of the areas that is obviously growing exponentially in our industry, and of course everyone sort of knows the industry is going that direction, is AV over IP. So tell me about what Blackbox is doing with that and what you're going to show us today.
Yeah, you know, so we've actually been AV over IP for the better part of 10 years at this point. We had a previous product line called MediaCento. It was a 1 gig solution over IP, HDMI over IP. It's been highly successful for us. And then over the last, I would say, 2 years, we've been taking a look at the market and taking a look at the way the use cases and the decision makers, the influencers of the market, and we really wanted to identify the better solution for the future. So, you know, we're network guys. That's what Blackbox is. You know, at the heart and soul of what Blackbox is, we're the networking company. We've been connecting endpoints by way of disparate connections for a long time. And as we took a look at that, you know, really the solution for video over IP convergence was in 10 gig solutions. And with that, we became contributing members to the SDVOE Alliance with Semtech. We find that platform to be really the future. It's a solution that's developed for modern network infrastructures. So
let me ask you about that one question real quick as you're going on, and you can go ahead and launch and keep going if you want.
Yeah.
But you're in booth 2673. And so do you still have your 1 gig solutions as well as the 10 gig?
We do, because we realize that there really endpoints need to be, are all unique. Every endpoint, every deployment's unique. And so there's going to be a need for 1 gig solutions for a long time. We have a massive install base of 1 gig solutions that will need to be expanded over time. That are
So the high end is. So the high-end, highest bandwidth is 10 gig is SDVOE, and the 1 gig is your 1 gig solution. I don't know much about it. Is it JPEG 2000? What kind of impression do you use?
So we're using VLC.
VLC. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't you show me what you're going to show me, and I'm gonna go full screen with the screen here so that people can see what you're demoing.
All right. So go ahead. Why don't you pull up the? We'll show them the latency first. So what we're doing, so one of the categories that we're really focusing on going forward is esports as a new category. We're in every other category in the world, command and control and hospitality, QSR, all that stuff. But we see esports as this category going forward that is really a growth category for AV. And so what we're doing here is we're really showing you the power of the SDVOE platform. And when it comes to video extension in esports and in a lot of other, type of, I call it mission critical applications, latency is a real issue. And so all of our competitors outside of SDVOE measure their latency in somewhere in the milliseconds, like multiple milliseconds, 16 or greater, depending on the bandwidth, depending on the type of video. We're measuring our screen source to screen latency at 0.03 milliseconds. So what you're seeing here is we have a video game. This is actually the live feed directly connected to an Xbox here on the right. If I step out off the screen, you can see that's perfectly synced, and Keith's actually playing the game off the video wall. So you're getting real-time perceptibility of the real-time visualization with zero lag. So that we see that as a huge opportunity for a lot of applications outside of esports, obviously. There's also, we've done a lot in hospitality and in restaurants. No one wants a touchdown to happen on one side of the bar before it happens on the other side of the bar, right? So
yeah. Sorry, is this, by the way, is this demo in 4K? Is that 4K going in and 4K going out, or is this 1080?
So it's 4K going out, and these are 1080.
Yeah. So you're combining it as a 4K display. So we're watching 4K in real time. This is a good demo because what we're basically showing is is the fact that although there's some latency, what I think you spec is 0.03 milliseconds, it's so minuscule that it's not affecting the performance of gameplay, which is the most real-time thing that you'd use kind of in practical application.
Yeah.
I like your esports analogy.
Yep. So, yeah, so and we're actually doing this going forward with one of the earliest launches for the MCX platform with an end user in the UK, where we're going to be extending half a dozen gaming systems, whether they're Xbox or actual PC gaming, to video walls that can be zoned out with multiple platforms, and then taken over as one big wall for large events. So it's a pretty cool use case.
So this is the MCX platform, and does it include obviously includes an encoder and decoder, and does it have a controller as well?
Yeah, so what we have now, we're launching that. It'll be available in August. And production's happening now. And we have two series. So we have the S9, Series 9, which is, it's 2 input. So I can go for the camera here.
Yeah,
so
come on.
Yeah, we can go, well, there we go. So we have, on board is DisplayPort 1.2 and HDMI 2.0, as well as network connectivity that's both over Ethernet and or fiber. So you can make a redundant network using the fiber and Ethernet together. And then we also have a full USB host on board as well, so we can do full USB extension. So
all right, so that's an encoder.
Yep.
And then that's part of the S9, and so obviously you have a decoder for S9.
Yeah, we have decoders as well. And
yeah, what's the other series called?
The other series I can't show it to you right now is S7. So the difference with S7 is the S7 does not have scaling on board, and it does not have the USB functionality on board. So the difference being that if I have a point-to-point or a point-to-multi-point type of video distribution, just digital signage use case, that's a perfect solution, and it saves you several $100s per endpoint.
Right. So if you just need to stick something on the network, S7, if you need to put something on the network, but also fine tune it for the display resolution per room.
Yeah. So
the idea behind,
they can be per room, and you can interoperate them as well. So on the same network, have S7s and S9s living together on the same network, and that allows you video wall functionality as well as multi-view. In fact, you can see we have multi-view up on this middle screen here. We have multiple sources. They're scaling down to scaling down to this 4K output as well.
Yeah, this is probably a stupid question, but do you put the scaling on the encoding side, the decoding side, or both sides?
Both sides.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to put it on both sides. And
I thought that was the case. That's why I thought it was a stupid question.
No, it's not a stupid question. No stupid questions. I've asked one once, but so the other thing that we're working on that will be launched within 3 months after the physical launch in August is our software controller. But at launch, so starting on August 1st, we do have a full API available, so it'll operate with any of our control bridge control system, as well as other third-party devices as well. So actually, we're controlling it right now with control bridge. It's a little touch panel we have, and 7 and 12 inches, and we build out widgets for it, and that's the easiest way to control it. We find that most people don't want to control, other than deployment, aren't going to control it outside of that type of environment. They're not going to log into a PC and
right. Yeah, they're going to want a simple interface or a simple touchscreen that says go here to here, or they're going to want a keypad that actually simplifies it even further.
Yeah, right. Really easy.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now Black Box will be again in booth 2673 at InfoComm. Of course, you can see all this at blackbox.com. Do you have the S9, S7, MCX series on your website yet?
It is. So if you go to blackbox.com/MCX, you can get all the product info there. There's the product pages as well as the data sheets and a bunch of brochures as well.
And because this is SDVOE compliant, theoretically, you can use any of your encoders with anyone else's decoders or retrofit a system.
Absolutely, as long as that feature is enabled on the third-party box, they talk to each other.
Yeah. So, for example, if you need the scaling, you'd have to have another box with a scaler built into it. Yep. So that makes sense. And then, of course, that means you can use anyone's software platform too. So that's the advantage of SDVOE. Of course, SDVOE, if you want to learn more about that, you can go to sdvoe.org. I'll be actually in the SDVOE booth. I'm I'm going to be talking about, and I forget what day it is, but it's on their website, talking about how SDVOE is going to ultimately, or AV over IP, ultimately going to destroy and decimate HD-based T.
Yep.
But we all kind of knew HD-based T was sort of like a bridge from one to the next one. But it'll be around for a little while longer. I think SDVOE would love to see it go away quicker, but it'll be around a little while longer because this is not going to be an overnight transition.
Competition's a good thing.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be an overnight transition.
No.
Keith and John, thank you very much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Perfect. No, our pleasure. Thank you so much.
And go by and see Black Box at InfoComm. And, of course, you can check them out at blackbox.com. Thanks for joining me, everyone, and have a great day. All of our InfoComm coverage, of course, is at ravepubs.com/InfoComm2019.